is Sports Eye Safety Awareness Month, and I'm joined by Louis Wellen. 30 years in the eye protection industry, right? First with Oakley, now with Torch.
That's correct.
And you put some shades on David Duval and Annika.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. That's going way back.
Yeah, and so sun damage to the eye, very, very important subject, right? Often underestimated. What's interesting, Louis, and you can testify to this, it affects every layer of the eye, right? The skin, you can get skin cancer of all sides, but also the front of the eye, the cornea, you can get sunburn directly to that. You can also get something in the sclera, which is called pterygium, where it affects the pupil. The lens itself, you can get premature cataracts, right? And then if you go all the way back in the choroid plexus, in the back of the eye, that's where you can actually get melanoma in the eye. It's actually a well-documented condition, melanoma in the back of the eye. So you said something very interesting to me. You said sunglasses are like sunscreen for the eye. So
Yes.
Quality sunglasses are very, very important.
Yes. One of my first things in educating athletes about wearing eye protection is I ask them, do they wear sunscreen when they're outdoors? And 90% of people say they do. And I say, well, your eyes are more sensitive and need more protection than your skin does. So why aren't you wearing sunglasses?
Okay. So from that point, I want to ask you something. There's a lot of myths, if you like. Do sunglasses actually help you read greens better and assess distance in golf? Do they actually work doing that?
Yes, this is true. The engineers have figured out a way to enhance certain colors and drown certain colors. It's called contrast enhancement technology. And with that, it allows certain lenses to highlight in certain environments. In golf, for example, we highlight the color green and the color white. So the players can see grain in the green, undulations in the fairway, better they can with the naked eye or any other lens tint that we've ever tested. So, but then a lot of people don't like certain colors elevated.
Okay.
They want to see a natural color. So the two choices, there's two basic choices, a gray base or a violet rose base.
And we are talking now the tint of the
lens
lenses.
tints,
yeah.
yes.
Because that's very confusing. You know, when I go to pick up lenses, there's so many different ones. And the one I pick is the one I think looks good or the one that gives me the best picture. But if I were to pick something to read greens, what color should I go for?
We make something that's a violet rose base, and it enhances the color green. But like I said, some people don't like that technology, and they want something neutral, so a gray base lens. So there's just two basic. But what I always say is, go try on the different lenses and see what your eye gravitates towards. Everybody has a different preference as to what their eye likes versus something else. But we've narrowed it down, or the industry's kind of narrowed it down to basically two different lens tints that can do the job.
Okay. And when I try the lenses, indoors versus outdoors, does it make a difference? Where, you know, if I'm in a store, is it
Of
trying
course
it
it
indoors?
does. Of course, you would want to try to simulate the environment that you're going to be in. Indoors doesn't really give the lenses any justice in how they're going to perform out in the sun. So I would say if you can try them outside, see which ones work, and walk back in the store and make the purchase and take the ones that your eye feels the most comfortable with.
Okay.
All of them are going to give the same amount of protection from the sun, blocking out 100% of UVA, UVB, and UVC. So it doesn't matter the lens tint. If it's a quality lens, it's going to block out 100% of all the ultraviolet light and harmful red and blue lights.
So even like tennis players wear clear lenses, they do the same?
Yes, if it's a polycarbonate lens,
Yeah.
A glass lens won't do this unless it's treated, but a polycarbonate lens naturally will block out UV light.
Okay. Final question for you. Big deal about polarized versus non-polarized. You know, polarized are more expensive, so do we automatically assume they are better? Is that true? Why would I pick up a polarized lens over a non-polarized lens, or vice versa?
Different people have different preferences. A polarized lens is going to block out a certain wavelength of light that causes glare. That's bad in some environments, and some people don't like the way that changes certain colors. But yes, in certain times, certain light conditions, you would want a polarized lens. I pretty much prefer it most of the time. But again, it's a matter of preference. The price is worth the extra benefits of what you're going to get from a polarized lens.
Okay, last question. 30 years, who's the coolest athlete in shades?
Well, in golf, my favorite two that I think have had the most success in my career have been David Duval and Annika Sorenstam.
Thank you for joining me, Lewis.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.